What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of the latest Married with Knowledge podcast. I am your host, Terry, here with my good unc, Mr. Clemont Brown. What's going on, unc?
What's up, sir? What's up?
And, just living the married life, man. Hoping for some good weather and, more blessings.
More blessings. Good weather and more blessings is a good thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of blessings, man, what sparked my thoughts today was, I went to church this morning. Thank God I was able to. And this week, our preacher decided to pass on a message about like love and basically what marriage looks like in the lens of God, what He expects from us, and how we should carry ourselves, through a marriage. Um, and it was real interesting, man. One thing that caught my attention was he said that in society nowadays, people tend to treat marriages like contracts.
Mm,
What a contract is. You sign something basically in that contract. You're basically protecting your rights, in case anything go wrong, whatever the case may be. And in that contract is also what you are getting out of the ordeal. But throughout his message, I was kind of creating my own thoughts, um, and I realized that when you're married, it's not a contract at all, man. And in actuality, we are actually giving up a lot. You know what I mean? Just three things you can name off top is, let's say, priority. When you get married, your wife is basically that number one priority over everything. You know what I
except
mean?
for God. Except for God.
Of course, God comes first,
Yeah.
but in my eyes, God isn't a number. God is
Right.
automatically above
Okay.
everything. You know what I mean? So he's just above everything. So what I mean, under him at one, I'll put, what I mean, prioritizing your wife, and that's over your
Yes.
kids, mother, father, family members. I mean, it is what it is. If you read that good book, you would know that the
Says the
wife
Bible
always
says,
comes first.
forsake everyone for your wife.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and one thing I learned about it, my mother taught me at a young age because I was a youngin when I got married. She used to tell me, once you get married, Clement, I don't become the first priority. And I was just like, whatever, whatever. And just to cut it, a couple times she'd call and ask for some money because she was going on a church trip, which is funny. And she said, I need $100. I said, okay, I'll be right over to give it to you just before Cash App and stuff. And she said, nah, ask your wife because you don't, that's in your household. The money's
Yes,
coming out of your household. So I learned at a young age, who I
that's
prioritize first.
that's a good woman. All moms ain't like that.
Oh, no, no, no,
You
no. You're
you
right.
have some moms that they don't care if you married or not. I'm the number one. I'm
That's
always
it.
that's my baby, and you got to know when to
Yeah.
step aside when that man get married.
Yes.
But I have priority at number one. Number two, let's say ownership. Um, you no longer solely own anything. You know what I mean? When you're in a marriage, you and your spouse are owners of no
Yes.
matter what it is.
Right.
And the funny thing that the message I got from church today was money. Um, a lot of divorce, as we know, statistically, a lot of divorces happen over financial problems or whatever, over finances, whatever the case may be. But the ones who have like joint bank accounts, and stuff like that, they usually don't have those issues. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because your money is my money is your money. This is our money. We do this together. You know what I
Right.
mean? So those ones with those separate accounts and stuff, I'm gonna keep my money, you keep yours. That's usually where the issues tend to arise. You know what I mean? Um, what you think about that before I
Oh,
move
no, no,
on?
no. Seriously. So I'm a firm believer of having a joint account. Joint. each one of you putting your monies in. But I'm also a firm believer of also having your own. So I haven't done it this year, but usually me and my wife have a bank account for savings for our trips for
Mm-hmm.
the year. Then we have our bill money and household money that we put together. But back early when we got married, I used to like to play golf. So I would put just a little, maybe 10% out of my pay into a different account. So when I want to go golf or I want to go buy some Jordans, I'm not taking out of the
Yeah.
funds. And I encourage her to do the same because you know how women are. They like to shop.
Randomly.
and
It's
even
another
though they have
Amazon
their own
package
account
here.
sometimes, they still saying, I need this, I need that. So, but it's I do believe that, as a whole, you guys have to share some type of bank account for the at least the household funds and the family funds, and that way nobody's hiding money, or because even though I have a separate account, my wife has my password and number to my account, so she could go in and get it if she wants to. I'm not hiding anything. It's a part of the privacy thing that we talk about.
Listen, that leads up right into number 3. Number 3 actually is privacy. When you're married, you give up all privacy. There's no hiding things from your spouse. You know what I mean? Because what's the reason for you to have to hide anything from your spouse? You know what I mean? Like, that person should be able to access anything that's yours, and vice versa. You know what I mean? God forbid anything happen. That's the person you're doing life with. That's the person you lay down with every night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They should have all access to your phones.
Yes, everything.
To computer, whatever. My thing is, there's different levels of privacy in a marriage, and even that you're married, people do need a little bit of privacy. I mean, time to themselves. But when it comes to phones, hiding things from them, you have to, in the privacy area, you share a space. You need, the most important part is the communication. You talk to one another. There's boundaries that comes with that, but you realize you get comfortable with privacy more when you've been together and y'all start trusting each other more and more and more. See, once I could leave, other than recently, because my wife said I had to put a code on my phone in case somebody steal it, she has that code too. I can put my phone down and don't worry about it. And the funny thing, a passing joke today, a phone call, I said, honey, answer. She said, it's private. And I yelled downstairs, and me and Juan was doing upstairs. I said, she'll call back. And she said, what? It was a joke. She talking about, okay, well, tell her I need something. I said, Lord. But it was, there's no privacy over here. She has access to everything. And see, that's when we start hiding things, that's when marriage start happening. That's when that's where you start getting conflictions and separation in marriage, because now I can't trust you. I can't do this. Well, I do believe, all women and men should be able to go out by themselves with some friends. I do it, my wife do it, but you got to have trust. But I believe in myself, Terry. I always say, if my wife wants to lose a good thing, that's on her.
And that's one thing we agree on.
It's not, and same vice versa for me. I know I got a good thing. So if I want to go out there and mess around and lose that, that's on me. It's not on nobody else. Because the first thing women and men do is blame the other person. The other person couldn't get access to your spouse unless they gave them that access.
Right. So, and I mean that's why I had to talk about this today, because just those 3 simple things that you need to know. You know what I mean? Priority, ownership, and privacy. You know what I'm saying? If you know what that means, you know what I'm saying, in the Bible, when it comes to marriages, then I mean that's a cheat code right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a way to avoid a lot. You know what I mean? Like, how many times do you see people choosing, whether it's an event, whether it's other people, over their spouse.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna chance. I'm gonna take that chance this time.
Right.
She'll get over it. He'll get over it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that. That's not a way to that's not a way to live. And again, that
See,
me mines. This is
right.
mine. This is mine. No, this is ours.
But you know what a
And
healthy marriage looks like though. With like when the fellas say, "Terry, can I go somewhere?" You know what a great marriage is when you say, "Let me ask my wife
let me
first."
call my
It,
wife.
it's not that you seeking validations, but for one, I just want to know if you have anything planned. I want to ask you, is it okay if I'm going out with the fellas? Because you might have
Mhm,
planned something I didn't know about. You know what I'm saying? You
mhm.
got a surprise for me when I'm coming home. I'm at work. You know, the fellas call me. I want to run it by you first.
Right.
And a lot of men, oh, I don't need that. I'm the man of my house.
Yeah, it's not even about that.
It ain't about that.
I I shared something on, I think it was Instagram earlier this week about that. It said, man, it's a different flex when you're battling something or you're going through something in this world and you're able to pick up the phone. The first thing you say is, man, let me call my girl,
Right.
because you know she has, you know what I'm saying, the mental to help guide you through that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not everybody can do that, man. Pick up the phone, let me call my girl, no matter what it is. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because she might have a good idea. She could talk you through it. You know
But
what I mean? That's
it's not only the mental, it's somebody that I know have my back and won't steer
right,
me wrong.
for
You know,
sure.
it's a simple fact that I know when all else fails, I call on God and I can call on her. Because
Hmm.
I know, because a lot of brothers, and what they don't realize is the same dudes that you hang out with and be around won't have your back like your woman will.
Right.
And, you know, and that's what they got to realize. When you got a good woman, that prioritizing her makes her feel like so much of a great woman, especially if she's a wife, that you don't even have to worry about it no more because she knows you putting her first no matter what. You are
Hmm.
right. That's a great flex. I also say a great flex is when you can say that I only been dating one woman for so long.
Right.
That's the greatest flex ever. I don't have those problems. I don't have to, you know, get involved in trying to deal with, because listen, let's relationships already are really crazy, and you put a lot into it. I ain't, especially being almost 60, I ain't got time to be trying to deal with two or three of them at a time. Listen, man. Listen, the temperaments of these women today, anyway, you know,
Oh
I know what,
man.
you know, I rather try to fix it 100 times with that person than start over with somebody I got to learn all over again and try.
Hmm.
It
Right.
is what it is.
Amen to that. Amen to that. To piggyback off, that little list I had, um, like I said, people think we give up those three things. You know what I'm saying? We're giving up a lot. You know what I'm saying? Your privacy, ownership, um, and your priorities. But like I said, that's what it takes for a successful marriage to thrive and be healthy. But also the things, there's a few responsibilities that we pick up too,
Oh yeah,
which is we have to love unconditionally.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we can't set limits on how we love. You know what I mean? Or what part we're gonna love. You know what I mean? When we get married, it's through sickness. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Until
Richard
death
for
do us the
poor.
richer poor,
Yep,
until
yep.
death do us part. You know what I mean? And in a lot of marriages, people change. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether they gain a little weight, whatever may happen, and then your love for them changes. Well, that's
And
not
it shouldn't.
unconditional. You know what I'm
Actually,
saying?
that hard drive should kick in when you should be able to reboot and love that person for who they are. People change as an individual no matter what in a
Hmm.
relationship. After so many years, like you said, weight, financially, death in the family, you know, stress, health,
Hmm.
you know. So if you can't love them through all that, you know, and you this is what killed me. If I invited you to my marriage, to my wedding, and I made a covenant to God, I expect you, if you was at my wedding, to hold me accountable for what I
Yes.
what I what I confess to God in front of you. You see what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And not too many of us have those type of friends that are willing to do that. You
Right.
know, they don't realize just because we've been homeboys for years that you're not a priority. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what I love about Steve Houston is me and Steve might not talk for like 4, 5, 6 months, but when we talking about our wives, talking about the things we accomplished, what happened, and one thing I know, I have a person that is putting prioritize his marriage like I prioritize mine, and we can communicate about things that are going on. And I have a few other ones like Jerry Bradley and Mike Terrence. I have built that relationship, and now I know I got you because you're the young in the crew. But you understand that marriage part,
Yeah.
and like you said, that honor and respect, and you got a partnership for life.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things you gain that you didn't have as that single person.
Mm-hmm. That's another responsibility that we take on, honor, respectfully. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like you have to put your wife there. You know what I'm saying? Your husband there.
right,
Like it's y'all two. Those kids gonna grow up, man. They're gonna go to college, they're gonna find their own husband, wives, and
yeah,
they're gonna live their own lives. And guess who's stuck? Not stuck, but guess who's left in that house? You know what I'm
right,
saying? You and that the spouse of yours. So you got to make sure that you guys don't lose each other. Don't ever stop learning each other, because
yeah,
you might reach that point the kids leave and then you look at each other and you're like, wait,
right,
who are you? You know what I
right.
mean? Like, because you stop dating, you
There you
stop
go.
caring, you stop doing the little things. You know what I
Stop being
mean?
complacent. Don't be
Yeah,
complacent. Date,
and
love on each other.
for
You know,
real. Listen,
seriously.
man, you know what also what I learned in church today, man? Sex was given to us in marriage as a celebration, damn it.
Right. Hey, hey,
Hey, my preacher started talking that talk. I'm like, man, we love to celebrate. As
hey.
man,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So listen, and it's nothing like just having that one, man. You don't gotta worry about, you know what I mean? And that comes with building a healthy marriage, though, being someone that they could count on, that they don't have to question. You know what I mean? Because me, my wife has a very stressful, she works in HR, so she
Right,
has a very stressful career. You know what I mean? So I make it my responsibility to make sure that in the marriage department, she doesn't have to stress. You know what I mean? Like it's no added stress.
right,
Will you run into your little hiccups? Of course, but I make sure that I'm not causing or letting anything in the marriage, anything that comes with it, whether kids, whatever, life together. So I make it to where there's no added stress
right.
in her life. Because if that's one place that she doesn't have to worry about, you know what I mean? Like you don't even got to worry about your marriage. Your marriage is good. You know what I'm saying? You just going through every
Right.
day like a breeze, because you don't have to worry about it, man. So
But see,
I
Terry,
mean that.
when we talk about that, us as men and women, we have to be the peace, be the peace for our
Yes.
relationship. You see, even men and women, they don't realize how much you have a wife with a stressful job. I have a wife who work with kids who's stressful all the time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
an ear sometimes. I don't need to say anything. I just want her
Mm-hmm.
to vent. Let me hear how her day going, because them kids can be crazy at some
Oh,
time.
I know.
And I know HR, when she has to deal with other people, can be crazy. So we need to give them a place to be peace, because you don't need to come home when you've been stressed all day and fighting battles to come home to another battle you have to fight. You want to come home
Mm-hmm.
to a person you love, that you can talk to, and they'll understand you. And that's what remember we talked about intimacy. That's where it ain't all about the sex. The intimacy is, sit here,
Mm-hmm.
honey, let me rub your feet while you tell me your story today.
Yeah.
Or let's sit here and just have a little tea or coffee. Let's get a stress reliever and just have communication. It's a lot that goes into it. And if you don't understand it, your house will be very much not at peace. I should say like that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. And I think the last responsibility that we pick up in marriage is submitting. You know what I'm saying? Mutually submitting.
That's it.
Um, People nowadays got, especially men.
You
Listen.
got to choose it.
I'm a man's man, but men think women are just supposed to automatically submit. One thing that I always said, and I live by it, is you don't have to ask for a woman to submit.
Mm-mm.
They do it naturally if you are doing what you're supposed to do as a man.
Say it again. Say that one more time. If you're doing what
You
as a
know what I
man?
mean? If you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man, that woman is gonna submit naturally. It's
Thank
it's
you.
not even a conversation. It's nothing that should even be brought up. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
when a woman is cared for and loved the right way, man, there's some things that that woman do that you never knew existed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
Right.
mean? You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Listen. And that's what the men fail to realize. Oh, she should be submissive. She has to do this. But how can a woman be submissive to you if you're not doing the right things? You know, and she has to take care of the kids. She has to take care of the bills. She has to pump her own gas. No,
Hmm.
bruh. Do the right things as a husband that you're supposed to do. That woman gives in without no hesitation.
Yeah.
It's when she has to fight her battles and it's not peaceful at the house, and you want her to
Hmm.
submit when you're not doing the right things. You're out with the homeboys. You didn't use these lists we just talked about. You didn't prioritize her. You didn't love her unconditionally. You didn't do the
Hmm.
things that you were supposed to do as a husband. Because everybody wants to put rules on what the wife's supposed to do in a marriage: cook, clean, do this. No, you have responsibility as a husband. And guess
Hmm.
what? As a husband, I decided to help her take care of some of the responsibilities that everybody think that woman should do. I could.
Right.
I
Right.
could most of the time. If she's busy and she's got things to do, and I throw a load of clothes in the washer. You know,
Hmm.
listen, when you doing that kind of stuff, she's saying, "Man, he's looking out for my best interest. I'm definitely
Hmm.
gonna make sure he's get treated right." You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
And then it's not even them giving in. Like, call me crazy, but you don't even feel like they're submitting to you. It's
Right.
just something that happens so naturally on the back end. You just like, man, that woman really loved me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
I know this woman got my back. Like,
Well,
there's no doubt about it. You know what I
well, I,
mean?
I always had a big problem with submission anyway, because the way they teach you submission is like,
Hmm.
I don't want to be in control of nobody.
Exactly.
Listen,
Exactly.
I
We
don't
don't
want to
have to be.
fight. I don't want to have to tell you what to do and make you do
Hmm.
things. No, I want it to come natural. I want you to
Hmm.
feel like the things I do for you, husband, as a husband, is what I want to do because you are doing for me. See, it's a two-way street when you're treating each other right, you know.
Hmm.
And like again, it's not gonna always be peaches and cream, but it's
All
gonna be
right.
worth it, and you're gonna deserve and love the way y'all treat each other in the long run.
Right. It's not about it being perfect, man. It's just
No.
about it being done the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't go about something doing the wrong things and expecting delusional results.
Right. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do nothing crazy and then wonder why you getting this in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to take accountability. A word that we love that we mentioned quite a bit on this podcast. If the world was more accountable, man, there would be a lot of less issues,
Yeah.
especially in marriages. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it's work. It's hard work every single day, man. It's
Right.
like it ain't like a job
Right.
because this is 24/7.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to be willing to put in that work, man. And I
But
think a
you
lot of people just afraid of that.
right. But you know what it is? We live in a world that people give up too quickly.
That's a yeah,
It- This
yeah.
this this generation is on to the next, on to the next one.
You
No.
know why? Because when you got stuff like DoorDash, you got stuff like Uber, you got stuff like this. Turnaround nowadays is in a second.
Yeah.
So if you ain't what I want, guess what? Just like everything else,
Yeah.
with a snap of a finger, I'm on to the next. I'm trying the next. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing
Like,
is, they don't even try to figure out what's best for them.
mm-mm.
It's a quick fix. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And my thing is, I tell men and women, stop jumping from relationship to relationship when you even haven't healed from the one you was in that was terrible.
Mm.
Because now you're bringing even more baggage, and you already got your thoughts on, oh, she ain't gonna be no better than the next one, or he ain't gonna be no better than the next one. You already put put yourself behind the 8 ball. You know, stop trying to make quick fix. Work on what you have at home, and stop telling all your friends and your family your business. Work on each other, improve each other. See, that's the thing. We were just talking, I think, a couple weeks ago, when too many women want it right away. He got to have money, car, house. When you see a man with potential, and if you pour into that man that has potential, and you see he's doing the right things, that right thing, and you building him up, it's going to be better for you, because as he get better, y'all become better, and he's taking care of you even more than you thought. Some other dude who had money, who really there just to be the quick fix for you.
And that's why they remain single and jumping from relationship to relationship, because like you said, they go after the people that they think got all the money. Let's say, oh, I'm only dating people that make 100K. Like, well, you just eliminated 75% of your dating field.
What?
You know what I'm saying? And they only want a tall man. So you just eliminated 5% more. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you keep digging down to the nitty-gritty.
What about the other 10% that you want but don't want you?
That's what
it's a percentage in there too.
So now you got about 2 to 3% of men that you actually got a chance with,
right?
Or that fit your description of whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just got to be realistic, man. And it ain't only the women, you know. So we ain't here to bash them. It's men too.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying men got their ways, man. And you know, I was once young before, so.
Yeah,
you know, I'm experienced, I'm seasoned, you know, I've been through some crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It's all part of growth. Thing that I talk about a lot is accountability, and I was able to take accountability and know where that change, where that growth had to start, and that was with me, not with anyone else. I can go on to the next for the rest of my life, but if I don't change, guess what? You're gonna get the same results. So
but
I figure if I change me,
right.
guess what?
But when you're young, you do what a child does. As you get older, you can't do what children do.
Yes.
You have to grow. The Bible tells you that.
Yes.
So you know you have to each year grow some type of way. If you're not growing each year, then you're stuck in the same situation or same ability of where you was always at. That will never work. You have to grow. You have to make better. And you know what I love about when you marry and you share those responsibilities, you become one. You build together. You're making things work for the family. You know what I'm saying? You're helping one another. That's when marriages thrive the most.
Yeah.
When you're putting each other first, then the family comes next, and you're building. You know, I see a lot of young guys out there. You, Quinn Smith, a couple other guys I see, Terrell Kittelberger, a lot of guys that want that relationship, and you can see them building and growing as they getting in their marriage. I love people. I sit back from afar and just watch, and I see it, and I love it. And
you set a good example, huh? You set a good example.
And you know what? I didn't used to want that responsibility.
It's natural.
I didn't want the people to say, man, you know, those are relationship goals. You should have your own goals, but I want to be an example, because I do have examples too. And you know, and I'm glad I can be that example, because like we talked about everything, just because it looks perfect, believe me and my wife are not perfect, but we love each other, we understand each other, and we put our best foot forward to make this marriage work. And you know, like I said, this October will be 35 years. That's a blessing for me.
That's a blessing. Amen. That's a blessing.
If you would have asked the Clemont that was coming out of high school, who thought he was the man, I would have never got married. And my wife I used to tease my wife, said, this is the only time I'm getting married. And she used to be like, was I that bad of a wife? No. I'm telling you, this is all I ever wanted, was to maybe marry once and make this last for a lifetime. To death do us part. So
it's crazy you say that. When we got married, man. Speaking of my anniversary, my second anniversary, my 2-year anniversary is tomorrow. 23.
Congratulations!
Yes, sir. But after we got married, we walked back to the reception area, and she like looks at me and she said, "I hope you know we ain't ever getting divorced." And I'm like, and it's like right then and there, man. I just looked up and I'm like,
Thank you.
"Thank you, Jesus." You know what I'm saying? Because it was like almost confirmation. Like, wow,
Yeah.
she wants what I want. You know what I mean? Like when you put two people like that got their priorities and
Yeah.
goals and everything in order, man, it tends to work out, man. And
Yeah.
thank God.
Hey, listen, you was blessed, she was blessed. We all blessed when we get when we, I keep saying the Bible says a man who finds a good woman finds a good thing,
That's a good thing.
So listen.
Amen. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, this is about time to wrap this up. And this was
Yes,
a great talk, man. I'm
yes,
I'm I'm glad, man, we was able to share some advice, man, and our experiences. Because we don't do this. Little disclaimer here, man. We don't do this for clicks, for likes.
no,
Man, we do this because this is what we do if a camera wasn't rolling, man. We just like to talk about, marriage and just spread positivity, man, because there's a lot of negative things going on in the world. And if we can be some type of change, some type of help, anything to anybody out there, whether you're thriving in your marriage, whether you're struggling, trying to hold it together, maybe you might come across something we talking about, and that might just, set off a light bulb, man, and help you guys. But I mean, that's all I got. I'll let Aunt close it out. Um,
well, I'm gonna piggyback on what Terry said. We're not here just for everybody to, just to get likes and people to love the podcast. We're here for help. We're here to be a sound ear to give you advice on things that we done been through. This is no fakeness. We're not trying to make our marriages seem like the best marriages in the world, because we already told you that we're not perfect. But if this can help you and your spouse or your mate to get on the same page and love one another unconditionally and do the things that makes a relationship works, this is what we're here for. Terry invited me. I'm very happy that he has. Um, Asked me to come on here with him because he was already kicking the knowledge. I'm just Uncle Cleveland to pretty much everybody, and I just wanted to give some of mine. And let me let y'all know we're going to be inviting other men and women, because our wives are going to be coming soon.
mhm.
Just We're going to be bringing other men that can tell you the same thing, that in their marriages, the struggle they have, ups and downs. I know Terry have a few friends. I have a few friends. We're going to bring old, young. We're going to kick this knowledge, and we want to remember to keep God first.
Always. So he took the saying right from me. Y'all know, as always, put God first. No matter what it is you do, He'll never lead you the wrong way. Thank y'all for tuning in to Married with Knowledge. We will see y'all next week. Peace.